Okay, well, welcome to this Q&A. I don't know why there's so many people out right now. Anyway, so we just reached 100 subscribers, which I don't think I ever see the day on any of my channels that I'd get to 100 subs. And it's such a strange time as well. AMHD has asked me, why did I get into motorcycling? The answer to that is a bit surprising if you ask me. Believe it or not, I wasn't actually into bikes for a very long time. I thought they were kind of weird looking. Didn't like the idea of cycling either. I was a bit shit. I couldn't balance a bicycle to save my life, so I never pictured myself ever being able to balance on two wheels. So initially I was a really big car guy, heavily into cars from the 90s. I was a big Gran Turismo fan. My favourite car was a Lancer Evo 7 at the time. I really wanted one of them. But then I started looking at costs for ownership of cars in the UK. It costs you the price of the car to insure for your first year, which is stupid. So there was no way I was going to do that. One of my family friends, I say that because I don't want to be associated with them at all, they're a horrible person. They came along with their quad bike, Yamaha Raptor, and I was just absolutely amazed by it. I was thinking like that's something that I could ride, because I don't have balance. And he was telling me about the insurance costs of it as well, and I was thinking, that's amazing. How can you have something that powerful, that fast, and that fun be cheaper to insure than a regular everyday car? So I had my eyes set on one of those Yamaha Raptors, and I started looking at the cooler ones, the Chinese ones. I was thinking, they're like Street Fightered from factory, and they look pretty cool. But then they were unreliable, uneconomical, and I started seeing loads of people say on forums, but why would you buy one of them? Motorbikes are twice as economical. And I was thinking, wait, that doesn't make sense. Motorbikes are fast, aren't they? So I started looking into it, and apparently people with 600cc bikes were getting double what their car mileage was supposed to be. Why would I ever look at four wheels when two wheels have that much economy to offer? So I started looking at top 100 lists of bikes and stuff by, I think, MCN. I'm not sure who made it, but it had quite a few retro looking late 90s, early 90s and early 2000s bikes, and I really like the look of them, especially stuff like the Hornet and stuff like that. But the one that caught my eye the most was the R1, Yamaha R1. And well, as you can see, that did inspire my choice in bike. I wanted the blue one because I thought that looked even better than this one. That figure of 99 mpg, and I was just drawn in. I was like, you know what, that's the one I'm getting. I started looking at the licenses and stuff like that for bikes and cars and that. And then I saw the CBT was a lot easier to get into than a car license. And that at the age of 16 you could get an Aprilia RS50. I grew up pretty poor, so being able to afford something was the #1 priority. Eventually I was put in a position where I had no transport, and my grandparents decided to pay for my not car insurance, I wish they did, my driving lessons, and I paid for my own tests and stuff like that. But yeah, so I had my full driving license eventually, and I was looking at cars again, but then I realized they increased the prices of car insurance way too much. I couldn't afford a car, even though I was on a okay salary. Well, I'll say okay, it's a 0-hour contract. I was working stadiums, and TfL was taking all my wages, so decided, I need something else to get me to my different locations that I worked at. Again, the idea of bikes came up. Yeah, that's why I got into motorbikes. Okay, so Reevy asks, how big is your height? How many pieces of Lego can you fit in your exhaust? And do a wheelie. If you won't, I will. Thanks, Reevy, for that question. So how big is my height? My height is, it's disappointing. I'm 5'6" on a bad day and 5'7" on a good day. And as all the lads will know, the difference on a good and a bad day is quite a lot, even if it is just an inch. As for the exhaust, I'll have to check that later because I'm on the job right now, and the insertion of things into very small holes is not part of my job description. Lego brick, but pretend that Lego brick is about this big, like as big as my finger. Doing a wheelie. Right now I can't, I'm on a scooter. But yeah, I still don't know how to do a wheelie. I was kind of hoping to get like a Grom or something and practice on that, because that has a lot less weight up front. So that makes you able to use your own weight instead of the power. It wasn't my original plan to do a wheelie or a burnout for 100 subs, but this thing happened, you know, the crisis, fucking plague happened, and I'm a chronic asthmatic, so if I get sent to the hospital for any reason, oh, what the fuck was that? If I get sent to the hospital for any reason at all, then you know, even if it's just a minor sprain, from that minor injury I will have died. I don't really fancy being one of those statistics. I would definitely still try it in this crisis if I had something like a 50cc or a bicycle. I don't have a functional bicycle. I could steal my sister's, but she's got so much shit wrong with that. Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it. I never got a bicycle up on one wheel. That's something that's just hit me now. I've never done the normal things like people normally do. Like, I can ride a motorbike with no handlebars. I can't ride a bicycle with no handlebars. It's just basic shit that I've not done that other people do. Weird, isn't it? So yeah, no wheelies for 100 subs, but maybe for 500 or possibly 1,000. Depends. It depends when this thing ends and, you know, how much I care about the current bike that I'm riding. Okay, anyway, next question. What in the fuck? Yeah, so next question. 125cc biker asked, what do I deliver? I deliver the goods. I also deliver bad punchlines. Yep, very bad dad jokes is what I deliver. No, I deliver pizzas. Gets me out the house in quarantine, but my job is actually quite fun in the summertime, and it's a very good stress relief in these times. If I wasn't doing uni work. But because I am still doing uni work, it's demanding so much of my time. I can't even do my fucking coursework because of this. God, this is only supposed to be a part-time thing. It's taken over my entire life. Job security is alright, I guess. Until you get injured, then it's the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I wish this job wasn't this stressful. I wish it didn't demand this much of my time. But that's what Deliveroo is for, right? I just wish I could do that instead. It would have been easier. I would get paid less though. Oh, it's gonna be quite far. What a prick. You just chuck a whole fucking cigarette packet out the window. That's where smokers are the worst, man. Pollute the air, pollute the ground as well. Okay, well, it's a little bit later in the evening now, and I've got a few more responses. Shorty Sco has asked me why I got a bike if I have a full car license, and the answer, I understand why it doesn't seem that obvious to people outside of London, but in London, insurance companies, they basically run a scam on us all, on all Londoners, because they think that because all of our other costs of having a car are high, they can charge so much more for insurance. Yeah, no, that's not going to fly with me, which is exactly why I, well, got a bike in the first place, because of insurance. The insurance cost was so ridiculously high on a car that I just got a bike instead. I just couldn't be the fuck? I just couldn't be bothered with the costs. And yeah, I am a very poor person. So yeah, bikes are just so much cheaper. Also, another thing, like as a car guy, there's just, you can't appreciate a car on the road, like on the streets. You can, like in the sense that you cruise around, but there's not much fun in that. The thing that I used to love about watching people like chasing two wheels and other people was like the experience was so much more visceral. It's like everything that you love about cars is so much more intense on a bike. Just doing daily things like going around town, you experience stuff like rev matching. You can hear the pops from the exhaust. You know, the acceleration factor from every traffic light is just so much more amplified than it would be in a car. A car just seems so disconnected nowadays. Unless you get a classic car, obviously different. That's different entirely. Yeah. All the thrills you get with a car are just more amplified on a bike, and it's cheaper. Person who's been subscribed to me for a very long time, and you should check him out if you're interested in what it's like in South America to ride a motorbike. His name is FoxEXT47, and he's asked, do I actually have a mustache, or am I clean shaven? And if you guys can see it, hang on, let me repeat that again.
Do you have a mustachio, or are you shaved? If you do, can we see it?
Let's say it with a deep voice. Do you, mustachio, have a mustache? The answer is, sometimes I'm clean shaven, sometimes I have a mustache and a beard. I used to have a mustache only, but I don't really like having a mustache only. Don't like that vibe. It gives that dictator vibe off, and I'm not that type of guy. The only reason I used to have it is because my mum used to force me to only shave my beard, which was quite funny. And the reason why I had that nickname actually is because in primary school I started getting a mustache before everyone else. So yeah, people started calling me Mustachio. Yeah, and I used that as my nickname on like basically every platform when I was in year 7, I think, like start secondary school. And then I just couldn't be bothered to imagine a different nickname, so well, I have other nicknames, but I couldn't be bothered to use any of them for my names, so Mustachio stuck. It was the name of my first channel, which I did have a mustache for the entirety of that channel. It was called Mustachio Moose. It was a gaming channel, but after that, like, this is the parent channel to that channel, and it didn't get this channel didn't get removed, but the other part did, so that's why I'm using this. So I just, you know, couldn't think of a better name to call myself, so I just called myself Mustachio. But yeah, mustache and beard reveal at 1,000. Oh, hang on. Mustache and beard reveal at
1,000 subscribers.
Motorev asked me, what's my plans for the coming year? Because depending on the crisis, any tours, group meets, etc.
ideas for tours and group meets. So for tours, I did have a couple of ideas. I've been slowly increasing my my touring ability over the years. Like, as you've seen on my channel, I don't know if you've seen that far back on my channel, but I've had quite a few long distance tours. By long distance I mean like you could do them then come back in a day. It's not that far. But yeah, I've been slowly trying to increase the distance I get from London. Yeah, by doing this all gradually. It gives me a better idea of what I should expect. I've done like Guildford. So far I've been down to Canterbury, up to Harlow. I did go to Reading in a car camping with my mates, but I realised like when I was transporting all my stuff to his house, I realised like, oh shit, I could just take most of this on my bike if I get a bit more creative with what I take. But I need something a bit more secure than bungees. It's also worth noting that I don't actually have touring gear. I've just got like my casual cafe racer style gear, which isn't really that protective against the elements, so most of the riding that I do would have to be during dry weather. I do plan on going to Reading and motor camping there eventually, but I think I was hoping that I'd get a better bike to strap stuff to, or maybe even like a Honda NC. We can store stuff on the bike. All going to depend on where these people decide to set up their meets, but I was going to plan on going to Spicy's meet, but I would predict he'd do that somewhere around Portsmouth or Surrey. That's my guess, because it's closer to him. And for me to get to Surrey from where I live would be a really ridiculous journey. It took me like 3 hours to get to Guildford the last time I went. Yeah, and that's not really that feasible. But like, if anyone else, you know, in the like even to get to Northwest London, it takes a long time. East London, anyone above East London wants to do a meet, I'm down. I just need to sort out quite a few things on my bike first, like changing oil, basic shit, adjusting the chain. I need to replace this brake lever because it's torn off. Like, I've only got half a brake lever. My peg keeps falling off too, my left peg, which is quite annoying. If that happens on a long distance tour, then I'm fucked. Also, I'm limited on my license of where I can go. I can't go on any motorways to get to places. I was hoping to have done my A2 by now, but you know, all the test centres are shut. 125s are also not the best for touring. And plus, there's not that many places to camp in the UK either, so... Ooh, I was hoping to give room to him. What an impatient bastard. I was just moving into a position that was easier for the police van, getting completely out the way. This guy took it as the golden opportunity to block his path. What a cunt. There's absolutely no fucking common sense from this guy. Anyway, yeah, like anyone more local to me, like Essex area, in that direction, hit me up. Because as soon as this is over, I'll be down. Oh, his door's open. Yeah, I've been using this app called Calimoto. Haven't actually gotten a chance to actually ride on it, but it looks pretty cool. The routes that it's given me is solid, so I might try to test some of those out. But you know, the arrival times take ages. Group meetups. I am a little bit introverted, so like I don't know how that's gonna play out. Like, it's one thing knowing someone online, it's a complete other thing knowing them in person. And also, like, I have not got the patience to organize something like that yet. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe if I can get someone else to help me, maybe I'll consider doing a group ride. But I wouldn't even know what to do. Like, where would we go? What do you see on the way? Is there anything to do? How do you organize everyone? Especially if people haven't got like Sennas or Cardos. I have one, but I've never been able to use it because all my friends, they just don't use them. They don't have Cardo or Senna, so I've never had experience trying to pair them. Yeah, I mean, if someone else is the one controlling it all, then I'm probably more likely to go. If I have to do it, then fuck.
Okay, 8-bit Motovlog is asked, quiet rides alone or group riding?
To be honest, I do prefer riding alone. I know exactly what I'm thinking all the time, don't I? Whereas in a group ride, you gotta worry about so many other people other than yourself. Like, I've been riding with only 2 people so far, outside of my riding lessons. My friend David, I've ridden with him a couple of times, and that's it. And my friend Premal. Literally only 2 people I've ridden with, and their riding styles are so different that if I was to go on a big group ride, I just wouldn't be able to cope. Because I know what each of my friends like riding like. David's all about the hooning, like hooligan riding, and Premal's like very calm. He's all about seeing the sights. I guess it's reflected in the types of bikes they ride. You know, David rides a Speed 4, and Premal rides a NC. Plus, like, I'd have to socialize with that many people at once. It's like going to school or something. Which is fine if it's a group of friends you know, but very few of my friends actually ride, and well, the few that do never talk to each other because they don't know each other. So they're from different circles. So it'd be very awkward seeing what they're like together. If I've learned one thing about combining different groups of friends together, is it never ends well. It's always awkward. Yeah, quiet rides alone, you can really focus on your own riding. Everyone wants something else out of a ride. You can focus on brushing up your technique, that's it. But then again, if you're wanting to push hard, you want someone there with you, You want someone to look out for you if you go down. And if you're on your own, you can't do that. Riding alone is probably not the best idea if you want to push. But then again, if you're in a group, you could push too hard because you're inspired by other people's riding. Me personally, I ride a lot faster when I'm with other people. I also drive a lot faster when I'm following someone else. What the hell? I think that person's exhaust just gave up. Yep, that's an exhaust failure. That isn't... that's not aftermarket, that's an exhaust failure. It stinks too. Yeah, his exhaust just gave up. Yeah, you could inspire bad behavior in yourself and others if you ride with a lot of people. Which, well, it depends. Sometimes it's good for you because you can learn how far you can actually push. Ugh. It sounds nasty, doesn't it?
Paradise Bikers asked, what mods do you plan on getting for your bike, and how long do you plan on keeping your 125? Well, first off, mods. As you can see, I need a new brake lever. Oh, my indicator stopped working. Oh, it's just the indicator light.
Yeah, so what mods? Yeah, other than the brake lever, I wanted new levers, right? I can't find the OEM ones anywhere. And if I get aftermarket ones, I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes and all that. I don't know how much of a struggle that's going to be. My forks are leaking, so probably going to have to replace those. I don't know if I'll upgrade them. I don't know if there is an upgrade for it. I don't plan on doing any exhaust mods because I hate the sound of single cylinders, honestly. I really do. I don't plan on doing any performance mods because, you know, this bike is only supposed to be temporary. You know, speaking of how long do I plan on keeping this, the answer is no longer than I need to. As you probably know, in the UK you can't get a bike bigger than 125s unless you've done your A2 license or full A license. And I was going to do my A2 license, but my Mod 1 got cancelled because of the coronavirus, so that's going to happen afterwards. And to be honest, I have actually ridden a large bike. I've ridden a 650. Yeah, and that V-twin is actually quite nice, but this bike is ridiculously agile compared to that. And I think if I get rid of it, I'm gonna miss this bike a lot. There's a video coming of me comparing my bike to the not the SV, the Gladius 650. This bike is just so much more agile. I'm gonna miss it, so I might actually keep this a bit after I've got my A2 license. If I was to give an estimate of how long I'd keep this bike, I'd probably say to the end of this year. I might sell it in like January or something, because I really want to get an SV650, the S version with the fairings, because the Gladius is like upright, but it feels weird because your legs are still back and your arms are up here like a dirt bike. I don't really like that, honestly. I prefer sport bike position. It feels more natural to me. And the SV650 feels like my CBR 125 that I used to have. That was perfect ergonomics for me. Yeah, but there's so much things in this bike that are going wrong. I think I might take this time that I have after I finish my coursework to just bang out maintenance on this bike, do everything up. I don't know about the forks because that's going to be expensive as hell, but definitely the brake levers, that has to be changed. Chain, tension, sort that out. Change the oil, you know, routine shit. And there's a lot of places that need greasing. Like my gear shifter. Just gonna do a full job on this before I sell it. And I think this front is actually pogoing now, which it hasn't done before. That's kind of worrying. It means that the suspension is completely gone in the front. It is a little bit disconcerting riding this sometimes. But yeah, like mods wise, I tend to stick to stuff that I can take off the bike, like my USB charger, phone holders and soft luggage and all that, because I know that I'm going to get rid of this bike someday. I don't really want to have all that money be wasted. I ain't planning on getting stuff like heated grips or anything like that. I might invest in a race suit or some proper leathers, race boots and proper gloves. Maybe even a proper helmet sometime down the line. Because the gear that I've got on is actually quite old now. Over 2 years old. And it's damaged by salt, crashes, especially my right boot. My right boot, the main buckle holding it on is just, it's completely gone. It's completely worn away from the low side that I had on that 50cc, and that injury that I had to my foot when I dropped that moped, the 125, on my foot. So I'm gonna need to pretty much change everything, get rid of all of my old gear, put on new gear. It's gonna be expensive, but it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth doing it more than it would be doing mods to this bike. I haven't even put any frame sliders on this because I know I'm gonna drop it several more times. My fairings are my frame sliders, thank you very much. And the best mod to make to the bike is to upgrade the rider. So I need to lose some weight, get in shape, so I can get a new race suit. He's gone now. I think that's all the questions. I hope there isn't any more, because then I have to film another one of these. But yeah, if you liked the Q&A, do be sure to subscribe. Quite a few more videos on the way. I'm assuming I haven't uploaded in a while because I've got coursework, a lot of coursework. I've got to do over 1,000 words per day. That's going to be hell, so I might not upload in a bit. But yeah, after this one goes up, there's going to be regular uploads again, because I've got plenty of video. I have no shortage of footage right now. I might need a new hard drive. So if you want to see more stuff, you know where to click. Subscribe button. Oh.